welcome back to another episode of Corpse Factory. I reach into the drawer and clutch a cheap plastic burner phone between my fingers. Crafting the photo of Kotomi Aida is done. All I need to do now is send it. I thought about waiting until tomorrow, but I already put off making the photo for a day, so I'll make my move tonight. During editing, I timestamped the photo with tomorrow's date, 10:46 a.m. It doesn't leave much time if Kotomi receives the photo tonight, but I'm confident the plan will be effective. Kotomi will look at the photo tonight. She'll either freak out and end it all immediately, or after a sleepless night of anxiety, she'll pull the trigger, figuratively speaking, instead of going to the office in the morning. I could cross my fingers and hope that by divine intervention somebody else will take her life, but based on my recent failures, I don't think that's likely anymore. If anyone else was ever involved in the deaths of Corpse Girl's victims, I don't think they're still around. Why else would my last few attempts have failed? No, my best bet is to urge Kotomi to simply kill herself. A convincing enough corpse photo might be enough to lure her to her death. When I turn on the burner phone, I'm happy to see the battery is still charged. I load up the phone number masking app, enter my trademark digits, and then shoot the photo into the network. If Kotomi is a screen addict like the rest of society, she'll be freaking out in about 10 seconds. Since this victim is going to have a quick turnaround time, I'll take the burner to the back shed tonight to store it, and I'll ditch it on the way to the office tomorrow. I'm not expecting a reply within such a narrow time frame, so there's no need to hold onto the phone for 24 hours like I normally do. Clutching the phone with one hand, I grab my keys from the kitchen bench with the other. I step toward the front door. The phone in my hand vibrates violently and I nearly drop it in terror.
What?
She messaged back. I bring the screen swiftly to my face and read the alert. One new message. Without thinking, I unlock the phone and open the message. It's a reply from Kotomi Aida. You think this is funny? I know who you are. I'll report you to the police.
Oh my
She's
God.
bluffing. She's bluffing. Holy shit. She actually replied. For the first time since Corpse Girl started her grand work, I've actually received a reply from a victim. Even though I used the number mask, there's actually nothing stopping someone from directly replying to my message. A reply message would still get sent through the network and back to the burner phone SIM card. The number mask is simply a stealth tactic, disabling the ability to view what the phone number actually is. It doesn't prevent replies. I discard the burner phone anyway, but it's an extra layer of security, not to mention a bit of a calling card. Judging by Kotomi's response, I assume we have a fighter on our hands. She's not going to give in easily. Her threat about reporting me to the police is a bluff. I'm confident that she couldn't possibly know my identity.
I've been waiting for this. I've waited so long for someone to reply.
I can finally put my contingency plan into practice. I've been holding out for this moment. I feel a wicked grin split my face into two, and I mash my fingers against the screen as I compose a venomous reply. Why am I replying? You like the photo? That's you in about 12 hours, unless you follow my instructions. The message sends in an instant, and I eagerly wait the next reply. I'm not left waiting for long. Kotomi's response comes through within seconds. Her attitude has completely changed. Please, I'll do anything. What do you want?
I called your bluff, you piece of shit. Now you'll do what I tell you to.
I enter my instructions, clearly and concisely. I better not say anything about work, because then she'll know. Pack 500,000 into a bag, put it in coin locker 6644 at Shinjuku Station. Should just wait for me to pick it up. Retrieve the item already inside. Put the locker key inside a full soda bottle and leave it on top of the locker. After I send the message, I decide to add one last bit. Do it now, make sure no one sees you. Then go to platform 12, do not board a train. Await my instructions. Satisfied with this addendum, I hit send. If Kotomi truly fears for her well-being, she'll carry out the instructions. Her response arrives shortly. Okay, I'll do it. I'm going there now.
Yes!
I've done it. I've convinced her. I'll collect the money once I'm sure she is no longer hanging around. 500,000 yen is nothing to sneeze at. It's not life-changing, but it'll cover my rent for a good few months. I chose this amount to simply test the waters. Asking for an insane amount would make it impossible for a victim to follow through. But I figured someone like Kotomi, an exec for a big company, would easily have access to this much dough. I'll go collect the money. And if everything goes well, Kotomi Aida will disappear before sunrise. Though the hour is late, quite a few commuters are still navigating through Shinjuku Station's wide platforms and underground labyrinth. The train station beneath my feet is a sprawling metropolis that extends below the city. It's packed with restaurants, shops, and other outlets. But as I'm standing on one of the countless train platforms above ground, that world might as well be a completely different dimension. The only problem is that I'll have to brave the maze as soon as I descend the platform stairs. I tend to get dizzy in such places. My normal morning route doesn't require me to travel through the underground plaza. I'm able to exit the station within minutes of my train arriving at the platform. Still, I'm somewhat familiar with the layout of the underground. I know exactly where Coin Locker 6644 is located. The coin lockers in train stations like these are a popular way for people to store luggage or personal belongings for a few hours at a time. In Shinjuku, it can often be difficult to find even a single available locker. The Coin Locker 6644 is special. I approach it from the main passageway of the underground and my eyes take in the familiar sight. Oh. Locker 6644 sits in the middle row, nestled between countless other lockers. This looks like a drug drop-off locker. Across its door is a thick coat of graffiti. Colorful curse words sprayed on with thick paint adorn the locker. The graffiti is such an eyesore that it acts as a deterrent to anyone who might want to store their belongings. The icing on the cake is the condition of the coin-operated lock. The thing is busted and dented from physical abuse, like someone has tried to pry into it with a crowbar on multiple occasions. However, I know from testing it firsthand that the lock still works, despite its battered appearance. No one in their right mind would use this locker, and that makes it the perfect spot to host my pickup. Glancing at the locker, I notice that a soda bottle sits on top of a soda bottle full of bubbly opaque liquid. I know she's hiding and waiting for me to go grab it. This was stupid. This was very fucking stupid. I quickly look around to make sure that Kotomi Aida is nowhere in sight, which she probably is. I walk past the locker and complete a lap around the immediate area, scanning thoroughly for her. But she isn't here. In fact, there are very few people in this little section of the station. Good. She followed my instructions perfectly. After leaving the key in the soda bottle, she left immediately. Doubt it. I approach the locker once more. I reach up above it and retrieve the soda bottle, then crack it open to hear the fizzy hiss. I bring the lip of the bottle to eye level and peer inside, trying to identify the shape of a key within the swirling ocean of carbonation. There it is. Oh, why didn't I wait to make sure she died? So bad. I try to fish inside the narrow bottle opening with my fingers. Thin though they are, I can't squeeze more than one finger inside the bottle at a time. Dump it. I could tip the bottle over and let the soda and the key spill out onto the floor, but if someone sees me being a nuisance and causing a mess, it'll draw unwanted attention. I've got no choice but to chug back some of the soda and try to catch the key in my mouth where she poisoned it. As disgusting as the concept is, I need to still myself. I raise the bottle to my lips, tilt my head back, and pour the foul liquid into my open mouth. Saccharine ting of artificial flavoring assaults my taste buds, and I immediately want to vomit. But I'm committed to seeing this through. I can throw up later. The most important thing is getting the key. It isn't until the bottle is half empty that the cold metal key drops into my mouth. It clings against my teeth, and I nearly choke in surprise. Sputtering and spitting, I feel droplets of soda running down my chin. My cheeks are puffed up like a squirrel as I try to retain the key and the soda in my mouth. I reach my fingers into pursed tight lips and recover the tiny key. I quickly swallow down the rest of the soda in my mouth, trying hard not to release a repugnant belch. I turn the key over in my hand and smile. My sticky teeth adhere to my lips, and it takes me a few seconds to lick them clean. Tossing the soda bottle into the nearby trash can, I wipe the key clean on my shirt and quickly insert it into the coin locker. I twist the key, turn the latch, and swing the locker door open. Inside the dark vault is a single bag, a simple paper pouch like you would get at a grocery store. I pull the paper bag out and take a look inside. Thick stacks of 10,000 yen bills fill the bag. I'm not foolish enough to stand here and count it out, but I am confident the amount is at least pretty close to what I requested.
It worked.
Jeez.
My plan worked.
I can hardly believe it. I devised this contingency plan months ago. I waited so long to try it out. So am I gonna switch over to just blackmailing money out of people instead of trying to kill them? All I needed was somebody to reply to their corpse photo, somebody to try and reject their fate. I wanted to prove that people would bow to the fear and do anything to save their own skin, and it seems that I was right.
Just one more thing to do.
I fold up the paper bag and clutch it tightly. With my free hand, I pull the burner phone out of my handbag. I compose a message to Kotomi Aida, who should be obediently waiting above ground on the train platform. When the next train arrives on your platform, stab the first person to disembark. You must kill them. If you escape, leave this prefecture and never return. It's done. When I first opened the coin locker and retrieved the paper bag, I immediately noticed the knife that I had placed inside months ago was missing. Kotomi followed every word of my instructions. My message had read, pack 500,000 yen into a bag, put it in coin locker 6644 at Shinjuku Station, retrieve the item already inside. I've given Kotomi an opportunity. She can trade another's life for her own. But what about Tomoe? I'm supposed to kill her for Shinya. If she kills someone exiting the train, Corpse Girl will spare her life. It's a simple exchange, and one that I bet she is willing to make. If she gets away with the murder, she'll flee from this place. I won't see her ever again, and neither will Shinya or Tomoe. Okay. To us, she'll be as good as dead. And as for Corpse Girl, well, as long as a body is claimed in exchange, she'll be satisfied. After a few minutes of waiting for a reply to the message, I figure that she's not going to write back. She's probably getting ready to fulfill her task. Keen to witness how this unfolds, I take the nearest escalator up toward the train platform. She's gonna see me. Okay, a little overkill. Bitch, damn. The scene is absolute chaos. It wasn't difficult at all to navigate to this area. All I had to do was follow the echoing screams. Jesus! I spy the shadowed form of a body lying on the platform in front of me. I can't make out any details, but a shallow pool of blood reflects the harsh lights shining from up high. To my surprise and delight, a second body is sprawled across the ground nearby. It's a young woman's corpse, with one arm raised against the side of a vending machine. She died while getting soda. Adrenaline surges through me at the violent scene. Kotomi Aida, she managed to take out 2 people. She might be my new favorite person in the entire world. I hear panicked voices in the background, and I turn my head slowly. What the? 3 people. 4 people. 2 more bodies are on the ground. 2 men in expensive-looking suits are collapsed in puddles of their own lifeblood. One of the men is still moving and groaning, pleading for somebody to stem the tide of gore. A familiar, lustful, tingling sensation begins to stir and rise through my belly, my thighs, my pelvis. I feel my toes clench and my breathing grows heavier. There's one more surprise to be had here amidst the beautiful spectacle of carnage. She killed herself? A woman is slumped in one of the plastic chairs that lines the platform. Her head is tilted, her suit jacket stained with red. A thick knife with a black grip protrudes from the side of her neck. A bubbling river of vital fluid cascades around the glimmering blade and pulls within her shirt collar. Even with her face masked by blood, it doesn't take me more than a few seconds to recognize her identity. Well, that worked better than I thought. Kotomi Aida. Dead. I swing around and take in the entire view of the platform. Counting up the bodies in the path of slaughter, my mind pieces together a theoretical scenario. Kotomi waited as the train doors opened, knife drawn. The knife she retrieved from locker 6644. When the first person stepped out on the train, she stabbed him and left him for dead. The body that I first saw laying on the edge of the platform is perfectly aligned next to the train to fit this theory. In a panic, Kotomi would have attempted to flee. She bumped into her second victim, the young woman slumped against the vending machine, and cut her down desperately to make her escape. Judging by the wound on Kotomi's own body, I would assume the 2 businessmen lying face down tried to apprehend her. They must have sustained fatal wounds before finally managing to wrest the knife away and plunge it into Kotomi's neck. Shit. It's all just speculation, but I'm fairly confident that's how this whole event played out. It was probably over in less than 60 seconds. And it couldn't have worked out better for me. I never dared hope that Kotomi would meet her end once this plan had been set into motion. I would have been as satisfied with her simply skipping town. I feel my legs weakening under my weight, and I'm afraid I might buckle at any second. The waves of radiating heat spreading through my body are causing me to tremble and shake. There's so much blood, it's everywhere. I've seen it in countless photos, and I thought I had become desensitized to it. But maybe I was wrong. Seeing blood in real life is completely different. I feel faint and pale, and excited and aroused. I need to get out of here before the police arrive. More importantly, I need to get away before I collapse in a sweaty heap of lust and pleasure. Also, isn't there cameras? I turn on my heel and sprint down the rising escalator as fast as my quivering legs will permit. And back at work like nothing ever happened. June 11th, Thursday morning. Another morning fueled by coffee. Once again, I didn't manage to get much sleep last night. I want to say it's not my fault, but I know that's not entirely true. The grisly visage of all those slain people on the train platform was burned into my mind's eye. Every time I started to drift off to sleep, a splash of blood or a fleck of gore would appear in my thoughts, and I would snap awake again. And the sight of Kotomi Aida with a knife sticking out of her neck made me shiver more than a few times. Nevertheless, I'm here now, at the office as usual. Witnessing violence on that level in person was a different experience than I had expected it to be. However, it has helped still my resolve. I'll need to desensitize myself to that kind of carnage if I'm to continue with Corpse Girl's ambitions. I set down the second empty can of coffee on my desk and lean back in my chair. I catch a glimpse of Tomoe tapping away on her keyboard, completely oblivious to what went down last night. There was a news broadcast regarding the event, of course, but the finer details of what occurred have been kept under wraps. It'll probably take the police and the media a little more time to get the story straight. It's not often that a mass killing spree takes over the news, and whether or not the identities of those involved will be revealed is beyond me. For now, I'll assume that Tomoe is in the dark about the event. I don't take her as the kind of girl to be up to date on current events. Even if she did hear about the stabbings, she couldn't possibly know that Kotomi was the culprit. I should probably fill her in later, though. She'll want to know that Corpse Girl claimed her victim, even if it was in kind of a roundabout way. I stretch my arms above my head, let out a small sigh, and proceed to crack open a third can of coffee before I'm gonna have a heart attack, before getting back to work.
You got a minute?
Shit, yeah. I wanted to speak to you anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, you go first.
For sure. Well, I wanted to thank you for killing Kotomi Ida.
She
I
does
don't know
now.
how you did it, but thanks.
Huh? How did you know she died?
Oh, come on. She didn't come in today, right? And there was that brutal stabbing incident over at the station last night. It don't take a genius to put 3 and 3 together.
Smarter than I thought.
That shit went down so close to here, where we spend so much of our time. Chances were good that it affects someone you know.
I shake my head at her logic. The city is home to more people than you could count. I don't know how she came to the conclusion, but the fact that she's actually correct just blows my mind.
Well, yeah. I guess that's it then.
I'm thankful. For serious. Yeah, Corpse Girl really did me and Shinya solid. If there's ever anything you need, like, no matter how dirty, then count me in. I owe ya.
Oh.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
Sure. So, like, what'd you want to say to me?
Oh, I was going to tell you that Kotomi is dead.
Beat you to it, skank! But I got a question or two. How'd you get someone to go on a killing spree and take Kotomi out along with the others?
Are you gonna tell her everything?
I mean, it wasn't you going around stabbing people, was it?
No, of course not.
Oh?
It kind of happened outside my control. I sent Kotomi a photo of her corpse, just like Corpse Girl's standard mode of operation. And I gave her the instructions to kill someone, if she didn't want the circumstances of the photo to come true.
Holy shit.
She kinda ran with it, I guess. Seems like she took out 4 people before someone fought back and stabbed her. I think I'm in love with her, to be honest.
You weird slut! That's horrible!
What can I say? She went above and beyond.
Still, thanks. Really. Shinya will be stoked.
That's okay. Just doing Corpse Girl's job. Where is Shinya anyway?
Oh, he was in earlier. Went home a bit early because he wasn't
Ugh.
feeling well. Think it was just because he was dreading running into Kodomi, but... Well, he'll sort himself out soon enough.
For a second there, I was thinking Shinya was one of the ones who got stabbed.
You know, Noriko, you've changed a lot.
I have?
That way?
Totes. I mean, I know you act different around me now that we're friends, but it's more than that. You look, I don't know, kind of better? Healthy or something?
Oh,
Pills.
I didn't know about that.
Serious, though. I don't know. Maybe I just see it different now that I know who you really are.
Maybe.
Anyway, I'm gonna get going. You wanna grab a bite or something?
Not today, sorry. Maybe another time?
Sure thing. Right. See you, skank!
Tomoe slaps my shoulder affectionately and takes off toward the train station. If I remember correctly, she did say that she'd be happy to help me out in the future, no matter how dirty the work is. I'll definitely have to take her up on the offer if the need arises. Another interesting thought crosses my mind. Tomoe seemed kind of surprised that I managed to manipulate Kotsumi into going on a killing spree. To be honest, I'm also amazed I managed to pull that off. Which gets me thinking, would it be possible to manipulate more people in the future? After all, I came out of last night's ordeal with 500,000 yen in cash and a bunch of bodies claimed in Corpse Girl's name. It's a fascinating prospect. There might be something to this. If I can successfully pull the right strings, Corpse Girl's ultimate ambition might be fulfilled sooner than I thought. I continue to dwell on the unlimited possibilities as I make my way to the station. I'm gonna end the episode there. A lot has fucking happened.